Now the next topic from complex numbers is show that the points in the Argand plane represented by the complex numbers 1 plus 3i, 4 minus 3i and 5 minus 5i are collinear. Usually in coordinate geometry we will get this type of problems. 3 points are given, we have to prove that they are collinear, means lies on the same line. If 3 points are on the same line, means through any 2 points you can draw one straight line which is passing through those two. If the third point also lies on the line joining the first 2 points, you can say that the 3 points lies on the same line, means they are collinear. So there are different methods to prove that the points are collinear. In straight lines, in coordinate geometry, we will discuss all the 4 methods. And now here, the complex numbers represented by the points represented by the given complex numbers in the Argand plane are collinear is the given problem. So do one thing. Let A, B, C are the points represented by the given complex numbers. Then A will be, here the first complex number is 1 plus 3i. So real part is 1 comma, imaginary part is 3. So the point A is 1 comma 3. And the point B is given by, means it is represented by the second complex number, that is 4 minus 3i. So that is 4 comma, imaginary part is minus 3. And the third point C is 5 comma minus 5. Now we have to prove that these 3 points are collinear. So observe this case. A, B, C, 3 points are collinear means lies on the same line like this. Now here we are using a concept that slope of AB is equal to slope of AC. AB and AC. So two line segments have a common end point A. So both are beginning at A. AB is one line segment, AC is the other line segment. If these two have the same slopes, then you can say that they are collinear. So that means, now how to find the slope? In coordinate geometry, we get this one. Suppose the point A is x1, y1 and the point B is x2, y2. Then slope of the line joining the 2 points A and B is, slope of AB is given by y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. That is, difference of y coordinates by difference of x coordinates gives the slope of the line segment AB, that is joining A and B. Okay, now here also, slope of AB I am writing here. AB means consider these 2 points only. This is x1, y1 first point, it is x2, y2 second point. Now, by using this concept y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, you can say that the slope is minus 3 by 4 minus 1. Difference of y coordinates y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, like this. So this is minus 6 by 3, that is minus 2 is the slope of the line segment AB. Now find the slope of AC. So here we need to find the slopes of two line segments like AB, AC, BA, BC, CA, CB, means one common point should be there. So slope of AC means, now neglect this middle point B and consider the first and last. Minus 5 minus 3 by 5 minus 1. Minus 5 minus 3, that is minus 8 by 4, that is again minus 2. So we are getting the same value. Therefore, you can say that slope of AB is equal to slope of AC, which implies the points A, B, C are collinear. So the 3 points A, B, C which are represented by the given 3 complex numbers in the Argand plane are collinear because slope of AB and slope of AC both are equal. Even if you find slope of BA, BC or CA, CB, you will get the same values. So you can say that they are collinear. Like this you can prove that the 3 points are collinear. And here the concept what we are using is the slope of the line segment joining the 2 points x1 y1 and x2 y2 is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Now another problem. Here show that the 3 points represented by the given complex numbers in arc and plane forms an equilateral triangle. So here the complex numbers are given by equilateral triangle. We have to prove that the points form an equilateral triangle. Here the first complex number is 2 plus 2y and the second complex number is minus 2y and the third complex number is minus 2 root 3 plus 2 root 3i. Show that the points in the arc plane represented by the given complex numbers form an equilateral triangle. Form an equilateral triangle. And now, a triangle ABC is said to be an equilateral triangle. A triangle ABC is said to be an equilateral triangle if the three sides are of the same length. Means in an equilateral triangle, all the three sides are of equal length and all the three angles are also equal. Means the sum of all the three angles of a triangle is 180 degrees, means each angle will be 1/3 of 180, that is 60 degrees. So here by using this condition, the three sides AB, BC, CA are of the same length. You can say that the 3 points ABC form an equilateral triangle. And now to find the length of AB. Length of AB means distance between the 2 points A and B. And now in coordinate geometry we have a concept. Suppose the point A is x1 y1 and the point B is x2 y2. Then distance between the 2 points AB is given by root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. In coordinate geometry we will get this concept. Then I will explain the procedure how to derive this formula also. Okay, now similar to the last one, let ABC are the points represented by the given complex numbers. Let ABC are the points represented by the given complex numbers. Then first write the 3 points ABC. Then A will be 2, 2 because it is 2 plus 2y. And B, second complex number is minus 2 minus 2y. So this will be minus 2, minus 2. And C will be minus 2 root 3, plus 2 root 3. These are the 3 given points ABC. Now we have to prove that ABC by joining these 3 points will get an equilateral triangle. That is the required proof. So first find the lengths of the 3 sides AB, BC, CA. Lengths means distances. So here then AB is equal to distance between AB you have to find here. That is square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, which will be minus 2 minus 2. Minus 4 whole square will be 16 plus this is also minus 2 minus 2, that is minus 4 whole square is 16. That is root 32. Root 32. 32 means you can say that 16 into 2 is 32. Root 16 is 4. So you can say that it is equal to 4 root 2. 16 into 2. Root 16 will be 4. So 4 into root 2. That is the length of the side AB. Now find the length of the side BC. BC means consider these 2 points. Minus 2 root 3 minus 2 root 3 minus 2. That is plus 2. Whole square plus 2 root 3 minus 2. That is plus 2 whole square. And now this is in the form of a plus b whole square plus a minus b whole square. So even by writing expansion also you can write, but try to understand this concept. A plus b whole square is given by a square plus 2ab plus b square, and a minus b whole square will be a square minus 2ab plus b square. These two are in the form of a plus b whole square plus a minus b whole square, where a is 2 and b is 2 root means. And now sum of these two we need to find. So by adding these two, you are getting a plus b whole square plus a minus b whole square, which is equal to 2 times of a square plus b square, 2a square plus 2b square. So this will be 2 times of a square plus b square, that is 2 square, that is 4, plus 2 root 3 whole square, that is 2 root 3 whole square means 2 square, 4 into 3, 12. So 12 plus 4 will be 16, again 16 into 2, root 16 is 4 means 4 root 2 you are getting again. Next, CA, distance between the 2 points C and A, that is minus 2 root 3 minus 2 whole square plus 2 root 3 minus 2 whole square. So you can say one thing, minus 2 root 3 minus 2 whole square means, by taking common, negative sign common, student just observe this one, minus 2 root 3 minus 2 whole square. By taking common this negative sign, you are getting 2 root 3 plus 2 whole square. Whole square gives positive, so this will be 2 root 3 plus 2 whole square. So then you will get 2 root 3 plus 2 whole square. This is 2 root 3 minus 2 whole square. Again you are getting a plus b whole square plus a minus b whole square form. So 2 times of a square plus b square will be the result. So this is 2 times of a square plus b square, that is 2 root 3 whole square plus b square means 2 square. So this is again similar to that preceding one. So 4 into 3, 12 plus 4, 16, root 16 is 4, so that is 4 root 2. So what can you say here? Length of AB equal to length of BC equal to length of CA. Therefore, AB, BC, CA are of same length. Triangle ABC is equilateral. Since all the three sides AB, BC, CA are of the same length, that is 4 root 2 units. Measure the lengths of all the three sides. You are getting the same value, 4 root 2. Since the three sides are of the same length, you can say that it is an equilateral triangle. If any two sides are equal and the third one is different from these two, you can say that that is an isosceles triangle. And next, show that the points represented by the given complex numbers in the arched plane. Here 4 points are given. 4 complex numbers are given. So each complex number represents a point in arched plane, means 4 points are given. You have to prove that the 4 points, means by joining those 4 points, the geometrical shape obtained is a square. They form a square. So they form a square. Here the complex numbers are 2 plus I, 4 plus 3i, 2 plus I, 4 plus 3i, 2 plus 5i, and the fourth one is 3i. Form a square. So 4 complex numbers are given here. Each complex number represents a point, means let A, B, C, D are the points represented by the given complex numbers. Now by joining these, we have to prove that the shape we are getting is a square. So what can you say about a square? In a square, all the 4 sides are equal and the 2 diagonals are also equal. So if you consider the square like this, A, B, C, D, here the 4 sides A, B, C, D are of the same length and the 2 diagonals AC and BD are also equal. That is the required proof. So let A means the first point 2, 1, B 4 comma 3, C 2 comma 5, and D here 3I is only given, means real part is 0, so 0 comma 3 are the given points. Are these are the points represented by the given complex numbers. A, B, C, D. These are the points represented by the given complex numbers in the arcane plane. And now, whether the lengths of the sides means distances similar to the last one, then AB means length of AB. That is square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. That is 4 minus 2, 2 square is 4, plus 3 minus 1, 2 square is 4. So you are getting root 8. Root 8 means 4 into 2 you can write here. That is 2 root 2. Otherwise you can leave root 8. No problem. So that is the length of the first side. And BC, AB, BC, CD, DA. These are the four sides. Second side BC is of length root of, consider these two. 2 minus 4 whole square plus 5 minus 3 whole square. 2 minus 4 minus 2 whole square is 4 plus 5 minus 3 2 square is 4, that is again root 8, that is 2 root 2. So these two sides are of the same length, AB and BC. Next CD. So CD, consider these two. 0 minus 2 whole square plus 3 minus 5 whole square. So that is again 0 minus 2 whole square is 4 plus minus 2 whole square is 4. That is again root 8, that is 2 root 2, same length. Now the fourth side DA. D and A, 0 minus 2 whole square plus 3 minus 1 whole square. So that is 4 plus 4 again, that is also root 8, that is 2 root 2. So what can you say from these four? All the four sides are of equal in length. Now what about the diagonals? Now AC and BD are the diagonals here. AC, distance between the points A and C, that is 2 minus 2 whole square plus 5 minus 1 whole square. 2 minus 2, 0 square is 0, plus 5 minus 1, 4 square is 16, root 16 is 4. And BD, second diagonal length. Root of, consider B and D, 0 minus 4 whole square plus 3 minus 3 whole square. So that is minus 4 whole square is 16 plus 0 square is 0. Root 16 means that is again 4. So here you can say that therefore AB equal to BC equal to CD equal to DA, means all the sides are equal. And since AC is equal to BD, diagonals are also equal. Therefore, ABCD is a square. So there is another method also to prove that it is a square. After getting the equal sides, just find the midpoints of AC and BD. Midpoint of AC, midpoint of BD. If these two are equal, then also you can say that it is a square, because in a square the two diagonals are equal and they bisect each other. Midpoint of AC and midpoint of BD are equal. This is about a square. In the next problem, again 4 complex numbers are given, but we have to prove that the given complex numbers form a rhombus in arcane plane. So what is the difference here? All the 4 sides are equal and the 2 diagonals are also equal, means you will get a square. All the 4 sides are equal but the 2 diagonals are not equal, then you can say that it is a rhombus. In a rhombus, the 2 diagonals are not equal. Half d1 d2 is the area. The 2 diagonals bisects each other perpendicularly. Okay, now let me solve that one. form a rhombus, the next one. In the same way, we have to calculate the lengths of the four sides and the lengths of the two diagonals. In case of a square and rhombus, you are getting equal sides. All the four sides are equal. If the two diagonals are also equal, that is a square. If the two diagonals are not equal, then that is a rhombus. Here the complex numbers are given by -2 plus 7i. -2 plus 7i is the first one. Second one is -3/2 plus 1/2i. -3/2 plus 1/2i. Next, the third one is 4 minus 3i. 4 minus 3i. And the fourth one is 7/2 into 1 plus I. Form a rhombus. So the given four complex numbers means the points represented by the given four complex numbers A, B, C, D form a rhombus in the organ plane. That is the problem. And now let A -2, 7, B real part is -3/2, imaginary part is 1/2, and C 4 minus 3. So 4, -3. D 7/2 into 1, 7/2. Again 7/2 into I, that is imaginary part is also 7/2. A, B, C, D are the given points. Are the given points, which are the points represented by the given complex numbers. Then we have to prove that it is a rhombus. If ABCD is a rhombus, then the sides are equal and the diagonals are not equal. AC and BD are not equal. That is the required one. So now here measure the distances similar to the last one. AB, that is square root of distance between A and B. -3/2 minus of -2, that is +2 whole square, plus 1/2 minus 7 whole square. That is square root of. This is 4 minus 3, that is 1/2 we are getting. 4 by taking LCM 2 into 2, 4 minus 1, that 4 minus 3, that is 1/2 whole square, that is 1/4 plus. Here 2 is the LCM, 2 square will be 4. It is -14 plus 1, that is -13, but 13 square is 169. So you are getting root 170/4. Root 170/4 means you can write root 170/2, no problem. And the second one, BC, distance between these two, 4 minus of -3/2, that is +3/2 whole square, plus -3 minus 1/2 whole square. So here also 2 is the LCM, 2 square will be 4. 2 4s are 8 plus 3, 11 square, that is 121. 2 4s are 8 plus 3, 11 square it gives 121. Plus here also 2 is the LCM, so 2 square is 4. This is -6 minus 1, -7, that is whole square gives 49. So by adding these two, 121 plus 9, 130 plus 40, 170 again. Root 170/4. AB and BC we calculated. Next CD. 7/2 minus 4 whole square plus 7/2 minus of -3, that is +3 whole square. So LCM is 2, so 2 square is 4. 2 4s are 8. So 7 minus 8 will be -1 whole square, that is 1/4. And here also 2 square is 4. 2 3s are 6 plus 7, 13 square, 169 again. So again you are getting the same, root 170/4. Three sides are equal. And DA, that is square root of. DA means 7/2 minus of -2, that is +2 whole square, plus 7/2 minus 7 whole square. So this will be 2 square is 4 is the LCM. By taking LCM you will get 2 into 2, 4 plus 7, that is 11 square, 121. and plus here also denominator LCM is 2, that is why 2 square is 4. 2 into minus 7, minus 14 plus 7, that is minus 7 whole square is 49. So again you are getting root 175. Therefore, AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to DA, means all the sides are equal. So immediately you can't say whether it is a square or rhombus, because we need to calculate the length of the diagonals. If the two diagonals are of equal in length, that is a square. If they are not equal, that is a rhombus. Show that this is a rhombus means we need to get two different values for the two diagonals here. Now measure the lengths of the diagonals. AC means, consider these two. 4 minus of minus 2, that is 4 plus 2 whole square plus minus 3 minus 7 whole square. AC means 4 minus of minus 2, 4 plus 2 whole square plus minus 3 minus 7 whole square. So that AC will be 4 plus 2, 6 square is 36, minus 7 minus 3 minus 10 whole square is 100. So root 136 you are getting here for the length of the first diagonal AC. And now measure the length of the other diagonal BD. That is 7 by 2 minus 3 by 2, that is plus 3 by 2 whole square plus 7 by 2 minus 1 by 2 whole square. So this is 7 by 2 plus 3 by 2 will be 10 by 2, that is 5. 5 square is 25. 7 plus 3, 10 by 2, that is 5. 5 square is 25. Here it is 7 minus 1, 6 by 2, 3. 3 square is 9. So you are getting root 34. So AC and BD are not equal. Therefore, ABCD is a rhombus. Because the four sides are equal, but the two diagonals are not equal. In the previous case, because the two diagonals are also equal. So all the four sides are equal in case of either a square or a rhombus. If the two diagonals are also equal, that is a square. If the two diagonals are of different length, not equal, then that is a rhombus. Next. Next one, find the equation of the straight line passing through the points. Find the equation of the straight line passing through the points represented by the complex numbers. What are the numbers here? Minus 4 plus 3i, comma, second one is 2 minus 3i. Find the equation of the straight line passing through the points represented by the complex numbers in argand plane. So here there are two complex numbers. So each one represents a point in the argand plane. So let the 2 points are A and B. We have to calculate the equation of straight line passing through the 2 points A. Let A comma B are the points given by the complex numbers, means in the argand plane. Then A will be minus 4 is the real part, comma 3 is the imaginary part, and B, that is 2 comma minus 3. So here 2 points A and B are given. Now just observe this one. This is the straight line which is passing through the point A x1 y1 and the point B x2 y2, And now, what is the equation of the straight line AB? Actually, equation of the straight line joining the 2 points is y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1, where m is the slope. Here the slope, to calculate the slope, we use the concept that is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So, first calculate the slope y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Now, equation of a straight line passing through the point x1, y1 and having the slope m, that is y minus y1 equal to m into x minus x1. M is the slope here. So, now, equation of the straight line is, here the x1, y1 means the first point, x2, y2 means the second point. So, required straight line equation is y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. Now substitute these values. Y minus y1 is 3 is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 into x minus x1, where x1 is minus 4. So this will be y minus 3 is equal to minus 3, that is minus 6 by 2 plus 4 is 6 into x plus 4. So y minus 3 is equal to minus 6 by 6 will be minus 1 into x plus 4, minus x minus 4. So now write all the terms together. Minus x will be plus x here, x plus y, minus 3 plus 4 will be 4 minus 3, that is 1, is equal to 0, is the required equation of the straight line which is passing through the 2 points AB, which are represented by the given complex numbers minus 4 plus 3i and 2 minus 3i. And now, one more problem. Find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. Find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of the line joining the given points. Find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of the line joining the points represented by. So find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of the line joining the points represented by the complex numbers 7 plus 7i, 7 minus 7i. So these are the two complex numbers. Let A that is 7 comma 7 and B that is 7 comma minus 7 are the given points. Means these are the points represented by the given two complex numbers A and B. Now we need to write the perpendicular bisector of the line segment AB. Here AB is the given one. Perpendicular bisector means divides this into two equal parts and it is perpendicular at the midpoint like this. Let M is the midpoint. Then first calculate M. Now AB and this one, suppose if it is C, AB and CM are perpendicular to each other. So we know that two straight lines are parallel if their slopes are equal and two straight lines are perpendicular if the product of their slopes is minus 1. So here, first calculate the midpoint of AB. Midpoint of AB, that is given by M here, which is equal to calculate the midpoint, suppose if A is x1, y1, B is x2, y2, then midpoint of these two is given by x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. Okay, so here that midpoint will be 7 plus 7 by 2, comma 7 minus 7 by 2. So that midpoint will be 7 plus 7, 14 by 2, that is 7, 7 minus 7, 0 by 2, that is 0. So we got this point M, that is 7 comma 0, midpoint. And now slope of AB. Slope of AB means y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So calculate the slope here. That is y2 minus y1 by minus 7 by x2 minus x1, 7 minus 7. That is minus 14 by 0. In any fraction, if the denominator is 0, then the slope is not defined. That is not defined. So its perpendicular slope will be 0. Means you can suppose that if it is minus 14 by 0, its perpendicular slope will be 0 by 14. That is 0. That is slope of CM will be 0. Okay, again, slope of AB we are writing y2 minus y1 minus 7 by x2 minus x1, 7 minus 7 minus 14 by 0. Means suppose a line L1 has slope m and L1 and L2 are perpendicular, then slope of L2 will be minus 1 by m. So that the product of these two, m into minus 1 by m is minus 1. So that is why if minus 14 by 0 is the slope of the first line, its perpendicular slope will be 0 by 14 multiply with negative sign and consider the reciprocal. That is 0. Okay then. Okay, we got the slope of CM. Therefore, equation of CM is actually this is passing through this point and having the slope 0. So y minus passing through the point this one, that m, that is 0. Y minus 0 is equal to slope. What is the slope of CM? That is 0 into x minus 7. So y is equal to 0 we are getting. This is the required perpendicular bisector.